Okay, so this session is about just introduction of Unix. Okay, what is Unix and what is the Unix scripting? So uh, what is a operating system? The basically the meaning of the operating system is it's nothing but so what is the inputs you will give from your keyboard or mouse. So the operating system will convert the input into machine understandable language and it will do process on the hardware. So and it will close the output. So basically this is the operating system, right? So we have different kind of operating systems. If you say Windows is one operating system and Linux is the one operating system and Windows is the one operating system. Okay, so exactly why we need Unix scripting and why we need to learn commands where we use these apply these commands and scripting in Unix. Okay, so let's say uh, so these are the different operating system, Windows, Linux, and Unix. So in this operating system also we have the different flavors. Actually, everyone has developed their operating system by different companies. If you see this presentation, so it will show that so in Unix, so IBM is developed one Unix operating system that is AIX. HP is developed one Unix operating system that is SP Unix. For app, it's Mac OS X, and Sun we have the Sun Solaris, right? Like in Unix, Linux also we have Ubuntu, Red Hat, OpenSUSE. Coming to Windows, we have the Windows 2008, 2010, 2007, 2000, and Windows Vista. These are the different versions of the operating system. Okay, so when you come to the Windows, so it's fully about the graphical user interface. If you want to copy a file and if you want to set anything in a file, you don't need to execute any commands. Okay, it's supposed to the GUI. So if you want to copy a file, you can do Control C and Control V. If you want to set anything in your file, you can directly double click the file, open the file, and you do Control F and set the file. So to operate your Windows operating system, there is no need to write any commands and there is no need to write any scripts, right? So it supports the GUI and you can navigate your operating system. So, but
Yeah.
coming to that, Linux and Unix, these are the operating systems, but you should know the commands and scripting because it's a command line. Okay, so
Mhm.
if you want to like suppose I have a Unix operating system, Unix system, so I want to copy a file. You should do everything by the command line. So for copy we have the one command. If you want to
Mhm.
rename a file, we have the one command. Suppose if you want to create a file and if you want to create a folder is nothing but it's a directory. In Unix we will call it as the directory. So if you want to create a directory and if you want to create the files, everything it has to be done by command line. Everything we have the different commands. So to operate your Linux or Unix operating systems, so you should know the basic commands. Then we have the scripting. Scripting is nothing but it's a we will write bunch of commands into a one program and will execute the program. Okay, so basically you should know the commands to operate your Unix and Linux operating systems. So what is exactly the difference of these operating systems, Linux, Unix, and Windows? Okay, coming to the for mostly if you are suppose if you are you want to install any software, so your server it's 100% it should be in Linux and Unix. We will not make it as our servers into Windows. Okay, servers is nothing but like let's say uh, I have a Informatica project. Okay, so Informatica is my ETL tool and my database is Oracle. Okay, so initially we need to install these softwares on our server, right? So, so mostly we'll use Linux and Unix is the servers, because server is nothing but it has the huge memory to maintain our files. That is the one thing. And second one is the security. Okay, the security and the storage of file system is very good at in Linux and Unix. So mostly our servers for any project, we will mostly use our servers as the Unix. Okay, again we have some differences and in Linux and Unix. So toply and mostly we will use 100% Unix as our servers. Okay, so in our Unix operating system, we will install our Informatica software and we will install our Oracle software. Okay, so that is the server. So we have the server and client concept, right? So but our client, it's always on Windows. Suppose I have a Windows system. If I want to connect to my Informatica, then we will use different applications. Like one is the Citrix. Okay, so if you log into Citrix, the software which is available to you, which is installed on your ID, so the software will appear and we'll click and we'll go to that software and we'll execute it. So clients will be there in the Windows. So to connect to our software, we will use the Citrix is one application. Otherwise, second one is we will use the general Informatica. They will install client components will install on our Windows. Okay, so but our actual software and the server will be there in Unix. So like suppose why we need to connect our server, what is the use? Okay, then we can install the client components on our client. Okay, it will be in Windows. You can open the software and you can do it, right? Why we need to connect our Unix operating system? So like in Windows we have the folders, like, so this is, if you go to this, like we have the C drive and we have the D drive, we have the different folders and files, right? Like our server
Yes.
also, we have the different directories and different files and everything. Okay, suppose in Windows in C, we have the program files and every software will store there and we'll install it. Like the same way in our server, the software will be installed. So as you are working on the client tools, there is no need to what is the use of to connect to your server. So you can open your software, your application, Informatica, open your Oracle database. You can do everything. Okay. So why we are need to connect your server? So the main important thing is, suppose in your server we have the some set of files, like, so suppose if your source is the files, we have the different data centers, right? We have the some data centers. So what is the file is created there, that everything will be loaded into everything will be transferred into on our Unix server. Suppose I have the source files of suppose if it is a net banking. Okay, we have the different files. Suppose in your Unix, okay, data dw sourc source, this is the customer files. So what is the files is generated? So the files will be placed here. Okay. So sometimes we'll use the source as the files. So we will maintain some data centers. So on particular hour, what is the files are generated? Those files will be transferred to our ETL server. This we can say it as our ETL server. Okay, our files will be placed into here. Suppose if I have the if it is the hourly files, generally we have the profile underscore 2015. Yeah, 16, 29, 11. So this is the 12th hour file. Okay, like the same way. So for every hour we will get the one file. Okay, 2016, 29, 11, 13. Okay, we have the if it is the hourly files, we will have the hourly files. Okay, under source, like suppose I have the some transaction directory. So there we will get the transactional related files. Okay, so we'll log what is the files which will be logged into the data center. So they will be placed there. So here you are using any tool, like it may be a SAP or it may be any one of the ETL tool, data stage or Omnish or something else. So any tool will be installed on the Unix server. So what is the application you are using? So your part is you need to extract the data from the files, okay, and load it into some database or something else. So while you are extracting the files, so once we need to write the scripts, like we need to use the some commands, like we can keep all the files into a one directory. Once the files are processed from the application, we need to move these files to some other location, like So I can, once my job is completed, I process these files. I will move into these files into archive. Okay. So before processing the files, I will check that some validations like my file is existed or not. So if my file is not available, my job will fail, right? So even if you have the file, I will do some validations. Is it has the exact header and footer? So what is the validations we are doing? What is the files we are moving? Everything. Everything is command line. So we need to connect our server, okay, and we will do some. We will write some commands and we will write some scripts, okay. And one more thing is from our Unix system, okay, you can run a informatica job, okay, it's a ETL job. You can run a SAP job. You can connect to your Oracle database from Unix. You can connect to your Teradata database from Unix. So what we'll do is generally we will write the script, okay. So it can be run a informatica job. We have the commands. It can connect to any kind of databases. So in the script, we will write that like the bunch of comments. My first comment will be it will extract the data from the file. Then we will run our Informatica SAP or any job. Okay, and third one is we will move the files to our archive location. Okay, and before that we will do the file validation. Is it the files is valid header and footer? So all the steps will be done by script. So in the script we need to write some commands, okay, write some commands and execute the script. So that's why we need to connect our Unix server. So basically our Unix server is not on the it will be on some remote system, right? It will be on some it will be in some US or UK. We have some servers, right? So we will directly, we will not directly go to there and sit in the system and we will not do it, right? So to connect your Unix server, we have some set of tools. So have you heard about FileZilla, FileZilla,
Files. Yeah, I heard
uh,
of it.
WinSCP?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So FileZilla generally what it will do is if you give the server IP address for every Unix server, we have the one IP address. Okay, then you should have the username and password. So with the user, we will connect to that IP address. That means we will connect to our server. So FileZilla and WinSCP, these are mostly about to download the files and you can edit the files and you can upload it. So in the FileZilla or WinSCP, so basically we will give the IP address of our Unix server and we will give our username and password. So what it will do with this user, we will connect to our server. So if you go to the FileZilla, you can, once you connected, you go to the directory and you can download the files. So your files will be downloaded in your local machine, in your Windows machine. So if you want to do any changes in the files, you can do the changes and you can do upload. Okay, you can do upload. So like the WinSCP also, this is the one of the tool. We can connect to our server. We can download the files. If you want to do the changes, any changes, you can do the changes and you can upload the files. So here it is not allowed to write some commands. Okay, suppose if you want to execute any program, any Unix script, so we can't execute the script from FileZilla and WinSCP. So it's about, so we can update, edit the files. So basically we have the three operations: read, write, and execute. So in FileZilla and WinSCP, you can read the files, you can edit the files, you can upload it. To execute, it will not support. So we have that another tool, that is the putty. Putty is nothing but, so when you open the putty, so it will open a window, we will give the username and password and IP address of the server. Then it is just simulation of your server. If you want to move any file from one location to another location, you can write the commands. If you want to copy a file, you can write the commands. If you want to execute a script which is there in some directory, you can execute the script. Everything will be done from the putty. Okay, you can write the commands and you can uh, execute the scripts from putty. So mostly we'll use the putty to connect to our Unix server. Okay, do you have any questions?
No.
Yeah, so mostly we'll use the putty. So it is used to connect our server, and once you connect to server, it's open in a black screen. You can write your comments. What is the comments if you want to move the files, and if you want to edit the files, and if you want to execute the scripts. So mostly we will use the putty as the to connect to our Unix server. Okay. So right now
Okay.
we don't have putty is not available here. Okay, for practice purpose. So we have the uh, one Unix. So to do the practice, so this is the our Unix. So it is mobile extra. This is the one operating system. So like it will open in this way. Your putty also in this way. So if you want to do anything, so where is I am in which directory? Okay, which folder? So this is the folder. If you want to write any command, if you want to copy the files, and if you want to move the files, if you want to execute the scripts, everything will be done from this. We can do the practice and mobile external. But actually, this is not Unix, okay, because we don't have any real-time setup, right? So we don't have any server. So we are so to connect from putty. Okay, so for practice purpose, we will use the mobile external. This is the one of the flavor of Unix server. So we can use this, and for do practice for Unix command we can do it. Okay, I will share this software to you. I will send a folder to you, this mobile extern. You need to just open in the file we have the .exe file. You can run the file and you can execute it. That's it. You can, it's installed. It's very easy. It's 1 minute.
Okay.
I will,
So the commands will be same for this one and Unix.
yeah. All the comments will be here. So the
Okay.
Linux, Unix, the comments also same.
Okay.
Even your server is Unix server, Linux server, the commands will be same,
Uh-huh.
because the Linux, Unix, in the Unix also, Linux also you have that Ubuntu, Red Hat, right? So these are the different flavors. Okay, so
Mhm.
all the commands will work on in all the flavors in Linux and Unix.
Okay.
Okay, so today what we'll do is we will just start. We will start with some startup commands. Okay, so like basic commands. Okay, so the first command is so this is it's like your Unix server. Okay, so everything is a command line. If you want to copy any file, anything, everything we need to write the commands and execute the commands to do the copy the files and move the files and execute the script. So today we will just start with some basic commands in Unix. Okay, yeah, the first thing is if you give cal. Okay, cal is nothing but, so it will display the calendar of this particular month. Okay, if you give cal, what it will do is it will give the calendar of this particular month. So it will give the calendar of November month. So and next one is if you give cal and year. Okay, and the year format should be yy. So it will give the calendar of that particular year. So in 2016, so what is the calendar for the year of 2016? Okay, and next one is if you give cal, and if you want to and next one is if I give 1987, this is the calendar for 1987 CALS 1888. So this is the calendar of this particular year. Okay, so if you want to give particular month and particular year, so you need to give, this is the 12 1996. So what it will do for 1996 year, 12th month calendar will be displayed. Okay, basically we have the only three options. One is the calendar. It will give the current month calendar. If you give cal and year, it will give for that particular year calendar. And next option is cal and then month and then year. So what it will do is for this particular year, for this particular month, it will display the calendar. Okay. And next command is date. This is very important command. If you give the date, so what it will display the, so where this operating system is placed. So that time will be displayed. Okay. So is it the PST zone, EST zone, IST zone? it will display based upon the time zone. Time will be displayed. Okay, this is Tuesday, this is the month, and this is the date. Okay, and this is the year. Okay, suppose let's say this is the date. Generally, suppose if you want to convert to this date, like suppose date plus y m d m d. So what it will do is, suppose if you want to change the format of the date. So basically this is the output of the date, right? So if you so generally y is indicates for year, m is per month, and d is per day. Okay. Suppose if you want to convert this date into this format, so date plus you can use this uh, percentage. So ymd. So first it will display the year, and then m is stands for month, and d stands for date. Okay. Suppose if you want to uh, so only YY format. So capital Y represents YY format. It will give 2016. Okay, if you give the small y, it will display the only YY format. So if you want to change it, you can change it. Like suppose first I want to date, and then month, and then year. So then it will display the date, first two characters, and then this is the
Mhm.
month, and this is the year. If you want to the year format in the four Ys, so you need to give the capital Y. So this is the date, month, and year, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And next one is that, so like this is the just startup comments. Okay. So next one is if you want to clear the screen, you can use the clear. Okay. So in C, you can use the CLR SCR, right? To clear the screen. So just
Yeah.
clear, it will just clear the screen. And next one is who is nothing but, this is the very important command. Okay, this is not executing here. Generally, what is who is nothing but currently how many users are connected to this server. That is who. Okay, who is nothing but, so this is my server, right? So for any server, we have the some set of users, right? Suppose if
Yeah.
you say I have the server. Okay, so in the server I have multiple users. So few users are the related to admin users, few are the normal users. So everyone, like suppose if you take this is your putty, while when you are open your putty, so it will ask the username and password. So here it is not asking because it's not a real, we are not connecting to a real time server. So generally, if you open the putty, it will ask the username and password. So you will give the username and password, then you are connected to the that particular server. So like the same way, so there are the so many users, they will connect to the server, right? So here who is nothing but, so on this particular time, uh, uh, which users are presently connected to this server. That is the who command. Who is nothing but, so here it is not working because it is not support. It's not a real-time server. So if you give the who, so it will display. So presently, what is the username? So my user is here. VR is my user, and VR-soft is the my server name. So it will display. So who is connected to currently? Which servers are being connected to this server? Okay, the username. It will give you VR at what time he has connect to this server. Then I have the another user, so like ABC, like the time is 23:20. Okay, so who is nothing but currently which users are connected to this server. So those list of users it will display. So it has the information of the username and what is the terminal name and what is the time he has connected. Okay, it will give the details. Okay, and second one is the
Yeah.
who am I is nothing but it will display that I have connected to this Unix server, what is my username. So I have connected to this putty using the username is ABC and password is ABC. So I have connected to this server with the user ABC, right? So if you want to know, so to which user I have connected to this server, whoami is nothing but it will display my username. So which user I have connected to this server, my username it will display. Who am I? Only the difference is who will display the list of users currently connected to the server. Who am I is nothing but to which user I have connected to this user. Anyway, I can know to which user I have connected to this server. But if you give who am I, it will display the username and at what time it is connected. So it will display the details. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So then we have the PWD. PWD is nothing but the present working directory. Currently, you will be there in which path? Suppose if you go to that your Windows, like I have the Windows C, open mobile exter. Okay, you can just download this file. I will share this file. You can just double click on this one. Your software will be installed. It's not a problem. So currently now I am in which path? Now I am in here, right? See, SQL developer, I am in this directory. If I create any file, the file will be created here, not in the desktop or some other directory, right?
Mhm.
Okay, suppose now I am in this path. If I create any notepad or any file, it will be the file will be created here, not other directory like in D directory desktop. So PWD is nothing but the meaning of the PWD is present working directory. Currently, you will be there on which directory? What is your current path? Now I am here. Okay, if I want to create any file, uh, create any file, so it will create the file on this directory, in this directory only. So Unix will, I have created one file, it will be created in this path only. Suppose if you want to create to directly some other path, then you go to that path and create the file. Okay. So PWD is nothing but it will give the, so your present working directory. Okay. And next one is the uname. Uname is nothing but it will give the your operating system name. Okay, your operating system name. So our operating system is Unix. We have the different flavors, right? We have the Sun Solaris and HP Unix and IBM Unix. We have the different flavors, right? So it will display your it will display the your operating system name. So if you Google it, Sigwin, right?
Mhm.
So Sigwin NT, this is our operating system. So it will, so this is our operating system. It will give the our operating system name. Okay. So and next one is the
Mhm.
uname and minus R is nothing but it's display your kernel version. So now it is not the comment. Yeah, this is your kernel version. Okay. So do you, so before that I will explain the Windows operating system. Okay. So what is the kernel? Okay. What is the shell and what is the hardware? So generally the architecture of our hardware is like, suppose initially, so this is nothing but kernel. Kernel is nothing but it is the heart of the your Unix operating system. Everything will be done, every command will be executed by kernel. So basically, so initially we have the user. This is the user level. So initially we will give the commands, right? So this is the shell, and this is okay. This is, so this is user. Okay, this is the uh, shell, and this is the kernel. So what is the user is nothing but we will execute some command. Suppose in Unix I have given pwd. Okay, I have executed one command. So otherwise I can give who or who am I. So anything when I have executed any command in by the user, then what shell will do is shell will check that do we have the executable code for that command in our operating system or not. Suppose I have given pwd, that is the one command. So shell will check that do we have the executable code of that command, pwd is there or not. It will check it. Okay, so my present working directory, the syntax is pwd. If I give the psd, it's a invalid command, right? So to copy a file in Unix, we will use the cp command and file A and file B. So the content of file A will be copied to file B. cp is the one command. Okay. Suppose instead of cp, I have by mistake I have given cc. Okay. So what shell will do is, what is the command which is entered by the user? First, the shell will check that is the command is valid or not. If we have, if it has the valid command, then it will check do we have the executable codes of this command or not. It will check that, and once shell is checked all the things, so it is the valid command and we have the executable codes, then shell what it will do, it will create a request and the request is passed to the kernel. Basically kernel will execute the all the commands. Shell is nothing but it will check that the command arguments and command syntax and everything, executable codes, everything will check. Once it is passed, the shell will send a request to kernel. Finally kernel will execute. So this is the heart of our operating system. So the kernel is nothing but, so it will do the file storage. Okay, if you want to create a file, how to allocate the memory to that file and how to do, so everything will be handled by the kernel. Apart from that,
Hello.
yeah, hello,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, and apart from that, kernel will execute the requests which will be coming from the shell. Okay, kernel is the main thing. So here we have the shell, right? Here we can use the different flavors of shell. We have the bash shell, that is the B shell. Okay, we have the corn shell, we can use the C shell. Okay, K shell, we can use the different shells. Okay, have you about Bond shell and corn shell, C shell?
No.
Yeah, these are the different shells. You can use any one of that. So this is the basically kernel. It will mainly so allocate the memory to the files. That is the one in the operating system. Okay, okay. It will manage the file storage system. And second one is it will execute the requested requests which is coming from the bash. Okay. So and here our command is uname is nothing but what is your operating system name. Okay, and uname minus r is nothing but your, it will give the your kernel version. Okay, and next one is the
Okay.
host name. Host name is nothing but for every server we have the name, right? So this is the vr is the my host name. So if you take any Unix server, okay, suppose you can have the server name is like uh, we have the server name, and again we have the, like suppose I have the Unix server. My server name is like suppose njdp1 mgt etl01. This is my server name. But every server it has the one IP address. Okay, so every server we have the one IP address. If you take this Windows operating system, if you go to the my computer, we have the computer name and we have the IP address, right? We can address my Windows by we can use the host name or you can use the IP address. You can use these two options to address any server or operating system, right? Suppose this is the server name and this is the IP address. Every server has it has the host name, that is nothing but your server name, and second one is that server has the one IP address. So when you call that operating system, when you call that server, you can use any option. You can use the host name to address that, and you can use the IP address to call the server. Okay. So basically, host name is nothing but it will give the what is your server name. And next one is host name minus one is nothing but it will give the IP address of your server. Host name hyphen minus I. We need to give space. So this is the IP address. So my host name is VR. Okay, the IP address of VR is this one. So if you want to, let's say, uh, so when you, let's say I have the two servers. Okay, I have the server A and server B. Now I have connected to server A I want to copy a file A to the server B. Okay, I have the two servers. Now I have currently connected to server A. Now I want to copy a command from copy a file that is A from A server to B server. So generally we have the SCP is nothing but server copy. So we will copy this file A to and we will connect to B server. We can give the username of some of the username of the B like ABC and we can give the server name is B and which path it has to be copied. We can give some this is the path. So this is the username and this is the server. We need to connect this B server with this username and in this server we have the path DDD directory. We have the one directory. We need to copy this file here to there. Okay. So when you call the server, I can give the host name. I can address with the host name or I can give the address the server with the IP address. So basically, when you address any server with the IP address, it has good performance. It is connected very fast and it will do the activity. It will copy or move or anything. It will do the performance is very good. When you address any server instead of host name, if you connect to the server with the IP address, it is the performance is good. Okay, you can address with any option, host name or server. Okay, host name is nothing but it's your server name and host name -1 it will give the IP address. Okay, so and next one is so log name. So log name is nothing but this is my user. It will give the some it will display the username. So to which server it is connected, it will display the username. Who am I also? It will give the to which server to which user it is connected, but it has some detailed information. So at what time it is connected and what is the terminal. It will give more information. But here log name is nothing but it will display just to which user from which user the server is connected. So it will give the only username. And next one is PASSWD is nothing but it will change the password. Okay, suppose like in Windows or everything in your Windows machine anywhere, so you have the user, generally we will give the username and password, we will connect to our Windows, right? So when you open the system, we will give the username and password, right? So
Yeah.
like the same way to connect to our Unix servers, we will give the username and password. So after 10 we have the some retention period, 30 days or 60 days, then the password will expire, right? So we need to reset the password. So in Windows we have the option like reset the option. We can give old password and again we can give the new password 2 times. Like the same way, suppose I have connected to this server with the user. Suppose I want to reset the password, just give PASSWD. It will reset the password of VRs of user and this server. Okay, so new password I have given Vijay. So password got changed, right? So it will do the reset of the password of this particular user. Now we have connected to the server. What is our host name? Host name is VR. VR is our server. So what is the username? So VR-soft is the username. With this user, I have connected to this server. Okay, when you do the PASSWD, so what it will do? It will reset the password of this particular user, not other user. Okay, PASSWD is the to reset the password. And one more important thing is we have the another uh, command, that is the SU. SU is nothing but the switch user. SU, and I am given the user VR V1. Okay, so generally it is not working here. Generally SU VR V1 is nothing but you are switch the user. Suppose let's say this is our server. I have connected to the server with the user VR-soft. Okay, suppose I want to connect to this server with this user VR-ID. Generally, what I will do first, I will close this window. Again, I have opened the putty. So while connecting, I will use this username and this password, right? So currently I have connected this server with VRs of user. I want to connect this server with another user VR-V1. So generally, basically what I will do, I will exit from this putty. Okay, again I will open putty, but while logging to this VRsoft, this VR server, I will use, this is the my username. Okay, instead of closing that particular session and again open the putty and view the different username, here we have the option like switch user. SU is nothing but switch user. So SU, and you will give the username. So when you enter, it will ask the password of this user. When you give the password, then it will be your user is changed to VR-V1 and the server is this one. Instead of just close the session and open the putty and give this username and password, you will be there connected with the server with this user. When you give SU is nothing but switch user with, this is the username. When you, it will prompt the password. When you give the password, you will uh, just you will connect to the same server, but your username will be different. That is the switch user. So in Windows also, if you are just control alt delete, so we have the option, right, switch user.
Yeah.
We are on the same system, but we will connect to with the different user like the same way. So instead of again do log off and open the Windows and give the username and password, so you will be there. So but we have the option switch user. Okay, we will connect to with different user, right?
Mhm.
Okay, and second one is and next one is man. Man is nothing but it will give the tutorial. Suppose I want to know some tutorial about the one of the command. So man space and command name. If you give CP, so what it will do is it will give about the, it will give the some tutorial about the CP command. What is the CP? How to use the CP? So okay, it will display the some tutorials of that particular command. Okay. Okay, suppose if you give man and if you give grep command. Okay, this is the command. It will give some details about the grep command. What is the grep and what is the e grep and f grep. So what is the different options. So it will give us some tutorials on that particular command. Okay, so man is nothing but it's
Vijay,
like help. It's like help.
Vijay,
Yes, Mujahid.
yeah, when we give man command, right? For example, grep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so now I just want to understand. Here, if you see, there will be different brackets, right? Some brackets will be for flower bracket, some bracket will be square brackets, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it
Yeah.
is like basically, yeah. Is it by giving this man command? Can I understand
Yeah.
that basically if you have to give man command, this option you have to give because that is mandatory. This option is optional. Is it give that details as well?
No, no. If you give and man and then space and give the command name, it will give the just it will give the information of that command. So if you see the bracket, it's nothing but the option. So we don't use brackets in our command. So this is the option. We can give here option. We can give minus c or minus f. We have the different options, right? Minus c, minus f. So here in the options, it will we can give minus c or minus f. We will not use this brackets. Then pattern. So we can use the pattern and we can use the file name.
So pattern and option is basically that minus e minus f is an options. Pattern is
A pattern is, suppose if you want to set ABC in the file, that is the pattern ABC.
okay.
And this is the file name. So that is the brackets is for tutorial purpose, they will give like that. Generally, what is the grep command? This is the grep command. And if you want to use the option or not, minus C is the option. Next pattern is nothing but I want to set ABC and what is the file name? This is the file name. Okay, so they have given the same thing, but they have mentioned the brackets, but we will not give brackets while you using options minus c or minus f or something else.
Yeah, my point is now, for example, you do grep minus e
Okay.
ABC Vijay, right?
Yeah.
For example, so
Yeah.
basically what we are doing, we are searching ABC under a file called Vijay.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Right?
So
So
here,
minus e is
yeah, minus c is the one option, right? We have the different options minus c. minus I is for case sensitive, minus V for reverse, minus E for number of lines. I will explain it in while uh, in grep session. Okay.
Okay.
So basically, we have the options. We have the different options. You know. So grep, the simple grep is nothing but we'll do grep on file name. This is the pattern, but we can use the different options. I will explain what is the minus E option and what is the minus N option and minus I option. I will explain it in grep session. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And uh, yeah. And next one is, so if you want to exit, you can do exit or log out. Okay. So this is just startup comments. Okay. So from next session, from tomorrow session, we will go for, so basically we will go for the what is the files and directories. Okay. So this is session is just introduction about, so why we need Unix commands, why we need the Unix scripting. Okay. So when you are working in any ETL tool, Informatica data stage or SAP, any tool, basically your tool will be installed on your server. Your server will, it should be 100% your Unix server, Unix operating system. So in the server we will get the files, okay, and we will run our application job. It will extract the data from the files and load it to there. So to run your application job, it may be any ETL job or something else. We have the different commands. So basically we will write the scripts. Okay, first it will do the file validation and it will kick off your application job and it will move the files and load the files, everything. So we should learn commands so to operate your Unix operating system. Okay, so in the next session, tomorrow's session, we'll explain about what is the files and what is the directories, how to create the files and how to copy the files and everything. So we will discuss about files and directories in the next session. Okay.
Okay.